Hi, today we're going to talk about the basics of analyzing commercial properties. When we are analyzing commercial properties, these are the key terms that we need to know and understand. The first one is the gross income, also known as the rental income of the property, which is the total amount of money we are collecting from the property. The expenses, we need to know how much is the property paying taxes, how much is the property paying water, gas, electricity, all the operating expenses except for the mortgage. The mortgage is not included in the expenses. The net operating income, also known as the NOI. The NOI is equal to the gross income minus expenses, meaning that if we subtract the expenses from the gross income, the total amount left that we're going to have is the NOI. The capitalization rate, also known as the cap rate, it means that if we buy a property all cash, the percentage that we're going to get back from our investment annually is that cap rate, okay, that percentage. The cap rate is also an indication of the market where we are buying the property and the risk the risk that we are taking buying this property, meaning that the higher the cap rate, the most risk we are taking, and also the lower the price of the property, and vice versa. The lower the cap rate, the less risk we are taking buying the property, but the higher the price for the property. Okay, so cash on cash return, COC, is an indication of how fast are we getting our money back. The debt service coverage ratio, also known as the DSCR, is an indicator for the lender. That's how they qualify the property. The cash flow is the profit that we are getting from the property. So once we pay all the expenses, we pay the mortgage, that money left is called the cash flow. It's our profit. All this information we're gonna get it from the broker, the listing agent, or the property owner. We're going to ask for the profit and loss statement, also known as the P&L. On the right side, you have the rent roll. In the rent roll, you usually will see the name of each tenant that live in the property, when they started the lease and when it's going to end. These are the formulas. The NOI is equal to the gross income minus expenses. The cap rate is equal to NOI divided by the asking price. The 7% is a point of reference. So you want to be looking for a 7%. You want to be in that ballpark to make sure that you get a stabilized property in a good area, uh, with less risk, not too much risk. The DSCR is equal to the NOI divided by the annually debt service by the mortgage. Minimum 1.2. So the lender typically looks for a minimum of 1.2 ratio. That's how they qualify, like I mentioned before. That's how they know if the property produces enough money to cover the debt. COC is equal to the cash flow divided by the down payment. So you want to look for a cash to cash return of 10%. The higher the number, the faster is our money coming back to us from the investment that we did. And this is an example of a 6 unit, assuming that the asking price is 1 million and the down payment is 25%. Usually that would be the minimum to buy a property, a commercial property, 25% down. And let's assume that the annually debt is 40,464. Now you can use a mortgage calculator to find out the debt service when you are doing these calculations. The 6 units times 1,500, which is the amount that each tenant in the property is paying, time 12 months. 12 months is because we always do these calculations annually. Okay, so the total will be $108,000 minus expenses. That will be our NOI, 70,200, minus the debt, the mortgage, 40,464, and that was gonna give us a total of $29,736, which is our cash flow. That's our profit. And at the bottom, as you can see, is how we come out with those with the numbers. So the cash flow divided by down payment is equal to 12% of cash on cash return. That's great. The NOI divided by the asking price of 1 million, that gave us 7% cap rate, which is great, exactly what we were looking for. The NOI divided by the debt, the mortgage, equal 1.7 DSCR. That's perfect. So that's above 1.2. So it qualifies for the loan. All right. So this is an example for you to practice, because practice makes perfect. Okay. So we need to practice. At first, I didn't know anything about this. I had to practice and practice and practice in order for me to get it. All right. So you're gonna find the cap rate. You're gonna find the cash on cash return. You're gonna find the DCR and the cash flow. All right. So once you do the math, please send me a message or write it down in the comments below. All right. If you have any questions, don't hesitate in calling me or sending me a text. I'm here to help. All right. Take care and happy investing. Until the next one.